Hello and welcome to everyone here on the live stream of the Gnostic Takeover. I want to remind everyone who's part of this channel here, you are involved with a takeover in which mankind is taking the planet back by realizing the nature of reality, how reality truly works. That's the diamond that's needed to be discovered. Everything is contained within this one greatest of all mysteries, the nature of reality. Through that, we'll be able to discover that the manipulation is based on us as mankind having forgotten and are in amnesia of how to connect to our true power. And that, ladies and gentlemen, everyone of mankind listening here, is the simplicity of how we get out of this prison altogether. The world looks completely differently when observed through the lenses of reality, and observed through the lens of the truth, the absolute truth. And yes, there is such a thing as the truth, for only cult members of the old religion of Satanism believe that there is no truth, and they decide what the truth is, which is the doctrine of moral relativism. However, that's not what we do here at the Gnostic Takeover. I want to inspire people, for I had to inspire myself. I have been inspired by the intelligence that is in the plant kingdom, that what we observe in nature. I read a great quote the other day from Friedrich Nietzsche, and I'm starting this video also with a quote. And the quote said something along the lines, and I'm paraphrasing here: the reason why we love being in nature is because we are not judged by her. It's nature, it's natural, and it's important that we return to the natural. So instead of happy Halloween, I say glory Halo in Wien. What does that mean? Well, Wien is the German word, the German definition of the capital of Austria, from which this live stream is going out into the world in the international language that is English. And it's crazy that Austria has the English Empire contained in it, the country of Austria, that which is defined as Austria. And that's me. I'm half English, half Austrian in cultural terms, and I've come here to this wonderful, beautiful country, knowing the culture of Austria, having grown up here, having been born here, in order to take down the empire. Isn't that crazy? An Englishman taking down the empire. That's not the English empire, but the vampire empire, if you want the right definition for it, of what's truly going on here in this world. So unfortunately, the live stream that I did on, when was it? Oh, that was yesterday. Oh, that was very early morning yesterday. Now we're about to hit sunset soon here. We've got the beautiful sun shining after a very misty day. And I wanted to give you a little bit more about the fly Agaric experience. So this is sort of like part 2 and what has been inspired by the fly Agaric. And I'm fully on fire. It's beautiful. My whole life is falling apart, meaning the old life, and that's quite scary because the new life hasn't shown itself yet. So where am I gonna live? What am I gonna do? All I know is I've got life force energy flowing through me, and that flow of energy will get me somewhere. It got me to speaking to you on this live stream now. So it's getting me to some pretty good things when it got me to speak on this live stream and you listening. It's great. So stay tuned, or when the Gnostic Takeover is too much, unsubscribe. Doesn't matter. Do what you want. This is your life. This is my life. And in my life, I choose to speak the truth and nothing but the truth, the way I see it. Scrutinize this information and make me go on the lead further of what the truth really is, because I'm only interested in discovery of the truth, because I know that's what leads to freedom. And in freedom, we would be without the predator class, the hidden rulers in the background who have maneuvered themselves in a situation where they're talking about a great reset and have put a poster of Klaus Schwab on it as a salesman to sell that agenda. Well, the Great Reset looks very different. That's why I called this video The Great Reset of the Natural Order. Plant Kingdom Intelligence speaking in confidence to you when I say I know it better than the dark occult priest class out there. Yes! And they hate me for it. And I love it because I know they are afraid. They are afraid when we, as mankind, with the potential and the connection to the infinite, not creator, the infinite flow of life force energy of the source. That's what we have the potential to connect with. And it's not black and white thinking that will get us there. This is a journey of self-discovery. So if you've been having a hard time here on earth ever since you got here, ever since you came through the womb and were born, well, you're going through a hard time because you're about to be born again. What you have been experiencing here on earth in this lunatic asylum, assisted living by criminals in government, masquerading as government, but is actually an internationally run criminal network cartel of mafia. This has all been a lie. And everything they talk about on the mainstream is here to program people even deeper and more into the lie of hypnosis. And for everyone who discovers that the mainstream is programming people and is not telling you the truth, and when you want to find out what's happening in the world, the last thing you do is switch on and listen to the mainstream media or listen to any political Truman Show actor speak nonsense. Ever since I've been on this earth, politicians have been speaking nonsense. I think the only time a politician actually spoke sense was when I watched Boris Johnson at the United Nations General Assembly in 2019. I nearly flew off my chair. He could actually speak a whole sentence without non-sensitizing But that was a fluke anyway. Look what happened to Boris Johnson. And of course he's part of the club that you ain't in. Or many who are listening here might know that this network of international relations extends much further into the general public. Isn't that true? The Gnostic Takeover goes as far as saying that a conservative estimate of members of the satanic cult goes up to 5% of the population, and they don't want anyone to know about this. Oh, the world is very, very different to what we were told it was. And I'm only here to discover what has happened, to find out what the true problem is. I'm talking about 13 years of in-depth psychological work on myself through shadow work and shadow integration, as well as lots of research of what's going on. What's going on here in the lunatic asylum? To then find out how to get out of Plato's cave, the cave of the lunatic asylum. And I'm sharing my latest discoveries here, so you might have noticed. Let's see who's here. Oh, we've got 4 people. I think last time I also said 4. There's not many people listening here at the Gnostic Takeover. Oh yeah, because it's being put on an energetic cap. They don't want this information out there. Oh my goodness, someone's speaking with confidence. Lock him up. Lock him up in prison. You can't have confidence here. We'll need to wear muzzles and pay high energy prices for energy that belongs to everyone. Oh, and the inflation going up, so we all fear for our existence, and the Gnostic Takeover says, fuck it, I've gone through this existential fear, it's a bluff. Trust in the life force energy that created you. Not God, not the creator. Why is it a man? Why is it a she? There's only knowledge about the Hermetic principles and the principle of gender, male and female. Energies, plus and minus. Upright pyramid, downward pyramid. There's only information, there's only knowledge. That's why we talk about Gnosticism and Gnosis here. Knowledge and the application of knowledge. No one is coming to save you, says the Gnostic Takeover founder, Stephen Wybrow, who gets called Steve a lot of times. I don't even have to identify with my name. So yeah, it's a little bit crazy here, but that's what you get when you were brought up in a lunatic asylum. That when you are on your path to sanity, I've been working the last year to get rid of my doing shadow work and healing my traumas. This is how I connect to my power. This is the only solution that I see in the world, is doing the great work on oneself. And then you connect to your power, and then you're confident, and then you're seen as crazy and a danger to people. All the people that I used to grow up with, they think I've gone completely ballistic. I've lost it. Of course I've lost it. I've lost the fear of authority because I discovered that I'm the only authority of my life. It's called the author. I'm not someone who reads someone else's books, which I still like to do, of course. There's lots of great books to read. However, I've begun to be the author of my own book called The Book of Life. That's the true difference. That's called walking the path of the awakened one. That's true awakening. I write my own book, that of which I'm the author, therefore it's the Book of Life. I'm the only authority of my life until proven otherwise. Well, good luck with that. Proving that someone is the authority of my life. Doesn't work, does it? And freedom is a journey to discover, to experience. So that is quite an introduction, I would say. No apologies for being me. Many people are leaving the Gnostic Takeover, which I say goodbye. It did hurt me in the past that people are leaving and the numbers go down, numbers go up again, numbers go down, numbers go up again. It's all a stupid game. Fuck it. I'll just be doing this message more. Now I'm getting the feeling that there's much more to come now. After I've gone through a healing medicine ceremony with the fly Agaric. It's a beautiful plant medicine. And like in the last video, again, I'm not gonna do a disclaimer. Go ahead and sue me. Big Pharma. Little nobodies. Oh, you gotta keep your job and your boss told you to sue the Gnostic Takeover. Well, unfortunately, the Gnostic Takeover is not active and not registered in the criminal system that is run by the spirit of evil of Wetiko, of which I know the psychology and the system in and out. So, come boy. Come girl. You're working for a big pharma cartel, wanting to sue someone talking about plant medicine, when you've killed billions with the forced gene therapy onto everyone, and using the propaganda machine of the television to tell people, oh, you need to get it because it's so dangerous. And you see, everything that works, you won't have any proper science yet backing it up. Like with the fly Agaric. According to the voices that I've listened to, because I've not had the time to delve deeper into it, because I'm much more a proponent of making your own decision and your own experience. From that, the wisdom comes again. And my wisdom, my experience with the fly Agaric is that of amazing healing, beautiful healing, powerful healing. And there's hardly been any experimentation with the fly Agaric in comparison to other, to be fair, to other psilocybin mushrooms, with psilocybin often used in trial studies. However, there's only very little being done in that department because you don't want people to really wake up. You don't want people to really see through the shit show of wannabe little boys like Mark Zuckerberg, who are nothing in comparison to the power that we have within us. There's hardly a thing of study. There's a great documentary that I can link to underneath, where two people took the fly Agaric, which was an interesting observation to see how... I didn't look like that in the two ceremonies that I just did. I didn't look like that. But it's a very good documentary. You see one Archon scientist, like who was representing the program. Oh, this is like this and other scientists who were very open-minded and who actually have the same hypothesis that I have, that these medicinal plants open the gate from which we can rediscover ourselves and rediscover how the world truly works. And that those medicinal plants are the way forward. So, I didn't talk about the second ceremony yesterday because the live stream was cut off. Wonderful, we have 6 people. Love all of you out there. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for giving this some time. It's great. The second one, before the live stream cut off, I was less nervous than the first one, because this is always like, I took the fly Agaric 2 years before when I got to know Errol Kaya. Oh yeah, and by the way, dear dark occultists like Errol Kaya, I know that you gave me the fly Agaric in order to be able to manipulate my energetic field and attract other things that I am now going to attract. Let's say and put it like that. They manipulate with the fly agaric because these dark occultists, it's also an important point to make, they also work with magic mushrooms. They also work with the mushroom like the fly agaric. However, again, they don't work with it in order to activate human awareness, activate consciousness, to see through the workings and manipulation of the dark occult that wishes to enslave everyone because they have no power. That's why they need to control. You don't have to control when you have power. That's why they have no power. They're not power freaks. They're not hungry for power. They have none. They have none. Zero. However, in this occult world, which is hardly ever really spoken about, that there's much more witchcraft and dark black magic, dark occultism going on in the world than is ever reported. Maybe Mark Passio himself was a priest of the old religion of Satanism, as he says. I would say he's never left the order. However, that's my personal opinion at this point. And according to him, he also says that the figures of Satanism, and I would, although I'm skeptical about Mark Passio himself, I still recommend people to watch his material. And it's also quite funny when he goes ballistic on his shows. If you ever thought that I'm crazy, you go and watch Mark Passio there. You've got some great entertainment there going on also when he goes ballistic and loses it and shouts at his listeners. I don't do that here. I have a different style. However, Mark also says in his experience, as he was also a priest within Satanism, the numbers are much, much, much higher. And this world is governed by this force. And I'll go much deeper into it in other videos and videos to come. This is just starting. As I said yesterday, the Gnostic Takeover is only just starting now. But it's been here now already for 2 years. 2.5 years. It's been here already. Well, I'm just going to say it's starting now. Oh, you've already said that 321 times. Well, okay, then I've said it the 322nd time, and now it counts. Now it counts. This is the first day of my life, actually. The only thing that exists is the moment right now. And I can do it all again. I can start fresh, start new. By healing the wounds of the past, I can move forward powerfully into the future. Is that how it works? According to the great, massive, huge and very deep quote by George Orwell, those who control the past control the future, and those who control the present control the past. So I heal my past and I can move forward powerfully into the future. Hey, we gotta heal our past and come into peace with ourselves. And we do that by expanding our consciousness and seeing the bigger picture of our own life and the lives within lives and the many lives involved in the great tapestry and the great orchestration of life here on earth, and finding out what has gone wrong. That's what I'm doing here at the Gnostic Takeover. I'm doing all of this for free, sharing all of my knowledge, 13 years of wisdom. My mum is panicking. My mother is panicking. Burst out in tears yesterday. Oh, son, you haven't got any money. You haven't got any money. Oh, what's gonna come from you? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, Mother, if you only knew the power of the fly Agaric, then you would know that I had to go through scarcity of money to know that this is the wrong value system. Because money, when you have money as primary importance in your life, and you're doing everything for the money. Got to get money, got to have a job, got to pay the bills, got to pay the rent. Well, when the inflation goes up, they go belly up. You go belly up, no matter how much you're working. Because these dark occultists have programmed your perception and your way of thinking about things and about the world deeper than you would ever believe it. That's why you got to expand your perception. And that's what these medicinal plants do. So my mother was crying yesterday. Oh, Steve, you have to move out from your old habitat. You have to move out. Where are you going to live? How are you going to pay the bills? How are you going to this? How are you do that? And I'm like, well, we're going to find out. All I know is I'm doing the right thing. It's not my, it's in my responsibility to change that. But if people do not donate to the Gnostic Takeover when they don't see the value of this information, what can I do? All I can say is at this stage, underneath in the description, unfortunately, we haven't got an easier access to people being able to donate. Underneath in the description, if you still bear with me here and listen to what I have to say, still here now in this video, you can find a link where you can support us financially, because I'm not Superman. I'm not at the Buddha level of enlightenment where I'm just nourishing myself from energy directly, of the 0-point energy field that the whole universe is based on, that Nikola Tesla tried to share with the world, but was in the wrong paradigm of thinking of sharing that with people that are still under mass hypnosis by the cult of Satanism that I'm exposing here. And have all the courage to do that because I don't fear anything. Because of the use of plant medicine like ayahuasca and fly agaric, Amanita muscaria. Now I got it right. Yeah, it's not dependent on me. If people see the value of what I do, see that I had to get rid of people like Errol who tried to get me into trouble. And yeah, go ahead and support the Gnostic Takeover. Make a donation. It will feel good for you. We don't take anything away from you. This information that I'm going to drop with you here today, that I have dropped in the past videos, if you go and watch them, or the information that I'm going to drop now, because the work is just going to get better. It's what happens when you do and heal yourself instead of complaining about the world. I could complain a lot also about the dark occultists. I get angry with them also sometimes, but I know that complaining, also my dog complains. The law for mankind had it right when they say, make a claim instead of complain. Yeah, create instead of complain. That's what I do. Create content and have the fire of inspiration reach you. And do it all for free, because this information, I'm sharing my heart here with everyone. The heart cannot be measured in Wetiko money terms. It's infinite. It's of infinite value. I get lovely messages, by the way. Thank you to everyone who's writing comments. I so appreciate it. That is supporting the Gnostic Takeover, by the way. Fuck the money. It will come one time. It will come whenever. And if I have to do it fast, I have to do it fast. Whatever. And yeah, I'm not always so calm and relaxed. I might be on the live stream, but you don't see me breaking down when I cry my heart out. And I think no one wants the Gnostic Takeover. No one likes the Gnostic Takeover. I'm just full of shit. And everyone hates me. That's when the program takes me over. I'm not immune to that. I'm just someone who's, again, skilled in the quality and of integrity, quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. So again, I am going on a rampage, speaking my mind and changing the world while I'm doing it. Wow! It's amazing. And for some people this might be too much. Like my brother, for example, yesterday. Telling me, oh, your work is so dark. You talk about Satanists and they're vampires. I would say they're power hungry. And I told him, that was a conversation we had yesterday, picking mushrooms. I told him, Robert, they have no power. That's why they're running a control system. Because they have no power. However, he was like, oh, your work is so dark and you're always like this and like always judging me. He's my big brother. Love him. However, that's what you have to get through. And I don't see my work as dark. I see that the light is hermetically sealed and encoded within the darkness. That's where the light is. Everything else is the wishful thinking of a confused state of mind, of black and white thinking. The TikTok, someone called it in a book, 33 Steps to Infinite Self by Stuart Wilde. Funny that I remembered that. He called it TikTok, people. TikTok, 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 TikTok. Yeah, why do you think in Freemasonic temples they've got black and white checkered boards and black and white checkered board on the game of chess? Before we need to transcend this black and white thinking and realize, as I said, light and darkness are not separate from each other, but light, the true light, the gnosis of wisdom, is encoded within the darkness. And we have to walk the path in true confidence and trust in the source of all life force, that we can unlock the light in the darkness. That's the ancient wisdom of alchemy. Do not fear the darkness. Realize that you are the light. You are the power. It's not to be found outside. Jesus is not going to come tumbling down when they freaking nailed him to a cross back in the days. If that story is even true. Oh, I'd be a heretic saying that. For I don't believe in Jesus. I don't believe fuck all. I'm here to eliminate all belief. To know no sis. Why would he come tumbling down and save you? It's nonsense, obviously. But no one's gonna save you. I'm not gonna save you. I'm gonna empower you. I'm going to inspire to empower you. That's what I'm going to do. Just by sharing my shit. I've not got my whole thing figured out. I haven't got the whole thing figured out, and only now am I going to say it when I've got the whole thing figured out. Nonsense. It's a journey. Wherever in the point of the journey you are, I've been in crisis mode where I couldn't even speak to people. I would leave the room after 5 minutes because I was so depressed and fucked up with my mind, torturing me. Telling me everything that I can't do, not showing me what I can do. Not showing me any wisdom, but just, you are a failure. You are a loser. And I couldn't be with people for months. People would phone me up and I'm like, no, I'm not coming. Because I'm depressed. Look at what the world's turned out to. And that was before they were all running around with their insane mask, their armor for their witchcraft insanity. I was in 2014. I told people, you know what's happening in Syria, in Palestine? And they're like, you're anti-Semitic. How the fuck don't you get depressed? How is it that you don't get depressed when you know by definition that Semitism includes the Palestinians? And the Palestinians who are Semitic by language, because it's a language group, the Palestinians who are Semitic are the anti-Semitic. When they're living in a prison called Gaza, the biggest open-air prison on the world, and you're anti-Semitic for saying there might be a problem with that. How do you not go depressed? How do you not lose it sometimes? And tell these people to fuck off because they know shit about the world. And I had to take myself out of that misery. And I have succeeded. I go on the stage and speak my mind because I know it better than anyone else I've seen. I have succeeded. Not the whole thing, because that is yet to come. I haven't got it all figured out. But there is an energy driving me where and the last week we had access to a lovely river. I go out every day and swim in that river, and it's heading to winter time now. It's cold out there and I love it. This is what activates me. Going in the ice cold water and commanding. You know what I did today? That's why it says glory Halo-Wien. 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 Today's Halloween, where these dark occultists again want to mess with the morphogenetic field of the earth. The field that connects all life force, and the thoughts you're thinking, they are connected with the morphogenetic field of the earth, the Schumann resonance. That's what they want to manipulate, to keep the energy down. And I went right ahead into the water today and I commanded, I as the general of the plant kingdom and principal commander of my reality, I command that all dark occultists involved in dark occult witchcraft, sacrificial rituals, feel the pain that they inflict on their victims today. The pain of their victims is mirror reflected right back to them for them to feel the pain that they inflict with the torture on other sentient beings. That's what I did right in the river that I went into. Because I do not fear them, because I have experienced them. That's why I don't fear them. And they are experts in blowing themselves up. It's like a blowfish. Go and look up a blowfish. It can blow itself up 5 times the size that it actually is normally. And that's a great description of the archons, of the vampire empire. They are not as clever as we often give them credit to. So it's 44 minutes in and still I have the feeling like I've not spoken about the fly agaric experience, but this is the fly agaric experience. What it does, it connects you. What I do is I set an intention, and everyone go into the email description, into the description underneath below. Oh, and if you're really in for it, if you're really into this information, you think this is moving powerfully forward, then go and make a donation, become a patron, support us. I mean, support this work. I'm here to inspire. Continuously make videos, talk about psychology, so you don't have to go and visit a stupid system psychologist. If you can't find your way forward in your life, go right ahead and write an email to me. I'm setting up the Gnostic Takeover University to give proper psychological help and assistance. but just by sharing what I've come to realize how mind control works and how you can break out of the biggest freaking tyrant and dictator that has ever existed on earth, which is your own mind that was hijacked without anyone realizing. That's why they show you the reality TV show, the Truman Show of Klaus Schwab and his little minions like Bill Gates and all the rest of them, to give you a picture to who the tyrant is. But the tyrant is in here. It's the programming of the mind that is the real tyrant. This is true Satanism in action. That's why I talk about Satanism and the many facets of it, and realizing that the whole culture has been turned upside down and they're full-blown Satanists. There's so much to talk about here. However, the fly Agaric is a powerful medicine. If you want to find out more about it, I'll be talking more about it in the Gnostic Takeover University, which, according to how it goes, looks like it's going to be free for everyone. However, people will have to show that they really want it. I do not tolerate black magicians, and I do not tolerate witches involved in dark occult witchcraft. I've made that experience, and I will throw out anyone who tries to manipulate, because infiltration is the number one thing you have to take care of so a movement properly works. Why has no movement ever led to anything? What happened to the truckers in Canada? You know why no movement has ever really gone the path and taken back their country? Because of infiltration. That's why I've been educated by the plant medicine to discover infiltration and eliminate them, so we can have a space where true healing can take place. So the information that will be contained in the Gnostic Takeover University, the information that I share here, can save you a lot of time wasted and money on psychologists who, where do they get their information from, do you think? I'm not saying there's many great psychologists on earth here, don't get me wrong. Many great people doing other great work. It's not just me. I can only talk about my great work. However, the system hardwired psychologists, they're not going to get you to freedom. How can they, when this system is all about never ever freaking having freedom? No way. What is the system? Everything except freedom. That's what the system is. This criminal system. That's what the Gnostic Takeover aims, because what we need is a psychotherapy. And you know who my psychotherapist was? The plant medicine. And myself. Because it just so happened that I only needed myself. I didn't need a great shaman. That was Errol Kaya. Turned out to be a dark occultist. I've made that experience, and I have thought a long time. Not just saying this out there, oh, he was a dark occult. No, I know it by fact. That was portrayed to me, oh, there's a great shaman who can help you. No, it was me and my connection to the plant medicine only that was the great psychologist that I needed in my life. And I want to be of assistance so we all get our minds straight. To stop the inner tyrant, because it's, you are beautiful, you're powerful, you're wonderful, no matter who's listening to this here. When you've been having a difficult time, well, take this moment to be grateful that you've logged on here to the Gnostic Takeover. You may have other channels that people you appreciate. However, here at the Gnostic Takeover, there is no back door with me. What I say is what I do. There is no hiding or there is no manipulation going on with me, no. I do the shadow work every day myself. I'm not, oh, look at me, I'm the great shaman, I've already done it. No, that's all nonsense. However, in my work with the plant medicine, especially now with the fly agaric, it was really refreshing because it was so smooth. As I said yesterday, it was such a smooth experience to go through. It really connects you to the wood wide web. And everywhere we were walking, because we did a really big walk, everyone was greeting us. They ran past us and looked back and like, oh, hello. If I felt this connection with everyone and everything, which was so beautiful. And it resets your mind. There's no intimidation of the fly agaric like is often experienced on mushrooms, which when it hits you, it really hits you. I mean the magic mushrooms, the psilocybin mushrooms. No such effect whatsoever. It was like a gentle friend, a big brother, or a big sister, however you want to see him or her. At this moment, I can't really say if it's a masculine or feminine. Probably has both properties, like I also. We all have masculine and feminine properties. However, that's beyond the point. It's like a brother, I say, that is just there with you. And you just immerse yourself in the moment and you're like, oh, I needed that. When I was having, as I said, in the beginning of the ceremonies, you get tired. I felt sick, but I wasn't purging. It don't purge as much as with ayahuasca, was my experience also. However, it was just beautiful. The way it came in, so gentle. It's so gentle. It just takes you by the hand, and then me and Liz, we, after 2 hours, after sleeping, so you drink the brew. And I also want to say here how the preparation works. So you drink the brew. What I did, and I've had in the last video, and I will put it underneath in the description also, the dosage. As I said before, you mix them all together because they could be of high concentration or low concentration of the active compounds. So you mix them together, the ones that you have dried and gathered yourself, or what you've ordered over the internet. And I really, really strongly advise you and give a shout out that you put your own intention with the fly agaric. For I do my breathing method of Wim Hof. I have my unique way of doing it. And before that, I always set my intention. And I had the fly agaric underneath this massive pyramid that I've got right here. This is my pyramid. I got it from Bosnia. The pyramid in Bosnia. This is my pyramid that protects me from agents of Wetiko, from the dark occultists. It's a very powerful pyramid, and I place like the bowl with the fly agaric. I would place it underneath the pyramid, hold the pyramid in my hand, and just send the intention that I want it. You know, that's how you work with the fly agaric or with any plant medicine. You program it. And dark occultists will program it according to the intention that they want to manipulate and hijack people and keep them small and manipulate their energy. However, you choose how you make your intention. And having made the intention that I made, it basically answered all the intentions that I had. Not by because one of the intentions was we need a new home to live in. I really want to live in a wonderful new home, because the last home that we're moving out from, again, was a guy from the network. As I say, it's more freaking organized than we can even ever imagine. Remember at the time when we moved to our new home? It's like, oh, finally, we've got a new home. Yeah! Guy turned out to be part of the network. And then people who have no clue say, oh, look at Steve, he thinks everyone's from the network. No, Steve just knows what he's doing when he says he's taking the plan back, and he knows what he's gotten involved with. That's all. That's why they fear me, because I have the intelligence to see what the truth is beyond the veil of illusion and play acting. So, important in the preparation of it is that you make a tea. For example, can just give you an estimate. I took 2 cups of water, poured it in. With the second ceremony was with 12 gram of dried, very all the bits crushed, so they're tiny bits, and then I added the 12 grams into the water that was already boiling. I added the 12 grams in there, and then 1 whole lemon to it, which apparently assists the process of transformation from one compound to the other. And then you let it boil for 20 to 30 minutes. First time I did 25, second time I did 30 minutes. And then you drink it. Let it cool for some time. And then what I do, I start the ceremony, I set an intention. I, as the General of the Plant Kingdom, Principal Commander of my reality, Stephen Wybrow, I initiate the ceremony. I ask the plant medicine, ayahuasca and datura, the fly Agaric, the Fliegenpilz as it's called in German, the forces of ultimate power and the intelligence of the plant kingdom to be here with me and to guide this ceremony. That's how you connect to them. So the ceremony is all about intention, setting also. I did the ceremony with Liz, and she's such a wonderful woman to do a ceremony with. Such a beautiful soul. Which goes to show not everyone is part of the network. I'm not part of the network. I'm helping people to get out of the freaking network, because they want to have everyone in the network. So, and yeah, you drink it, then you have all the stomach aches, and you're like, oh, I have to go to the toilet, I have to vomit, no I don't, kind of sensation. And then we went for a long walk, and it was beautiful, and I got answers to how we can sort the flat out, the apartment, to get out of there. Because, yeah, I got answers to everything that I was intentionalizing, and it basically taught me, when it came to finding a new home, it said, don't go onto the internet. Don't do what everyone else is doing. It's an important key to life. In order to know what you have to be doing, just do what no one else is doing. It's a similar quote to that goes like that from Leonardo da Vinci. Life is pretty simple. You do some things work, some things don't. And other people, you do more, no, excuse me. Life is pretty simple. You do some things work, some things don't. You do more of what works. And then other people copy it. The trick is the doing something else. That's the maverick approach. What are you doing for life? Well, I'm doing something else. Wouldn't that be a great answer? Someone asks you when you're at a party, so what do you do for a living? Well, I'm doing something else. So Maverick is like, huh? I must be a conspiracy theorist then. Yeah, well, goes deeper than that, mate. So when it came to finding a new home, said, don't go into the internet. You know what you do? You go out on walks and you just go and ask the people. Go and start talking to the people. It's like, oh, you can't do that. That's what the program would say. Oh, you can't do that. No way can you do that. Oh, watch me. I will do that. Because I am that. Let me connect to mankind. Let me see if that percentage is really true of how many got the, you know what. Let's see if it's true. Maybe there's lots of people who are actually just waiting for someone to actually speak to them. And I got a lead also with one or two friends from my past that I could ask. One's building a house at the moment right now, so there might be some space there. Or ask another friend who's already living apparently in a community where they've got a farm. Maybe they know someone who knows. Because you know them, they may know. And the fly Agaric said, just take your pyramid and go into your favorite place in nature and do a ceremony there and set the intention that you want to connect to the Wood Wide Web and that you want a wonderful, beautiful new home. And then every day when you go out for a walk, you just start and talk to the people. You start to engage with reality and not the virtual copy of reality that is the internet. The internet is a great tool, don't get me wrong. The internet is a great tool that we can use. I'm using the internet right now. Got the Gnostic Takeover channel going. However, there is a place and a time. And last time for our home, we used the internet and we found a home. But that wasn't, as you can see, he was part of the network, and the guy who we rented from, and it was only for a limited space of time. Although the region where we lived was wonderful, as I said last time, the Wienerwald. Found lots of mushrooms, beautiful. What an experience that was. So everything works for you when you just see it from a different perspective. So yeah, I'm not in panic mode. I have to move out, or I want to move out from there because I don't want to be with this guy anymore. To have that energetic connection is important to cut the energetic connection. Something I will be speaking about even more in the coming videos. And I have no clue where I'm going to live, and I feel great. No fear whatsoever. My mum bursts out into tears because me, her son's a failure. I didn't become the teacher of the studies that I did, mathematics and history, because I have a heart, because I don't traumatize children. And I thought, well, you know, the whole school system's shit, so I'm just gonna create the Gnostic Takeover University and create my own school system and take over the school system, not just have a parallel society. Oh, we can do our own schools and have parallel societies with the psychopaths until they burn down your school 2 years later, and then everyone's in victim mode. Oh, it didn't work. It was bad luck. We tried, but they're too powerful. No. You didn't see the power and the importance of taking over and not running parallel societies with psychopaths. Just the reason why I'm one of the biggest critic of the alternative movement, alternative media arena, because they all talk about parallel societies. Oh, with psychopaths. Well, good luck. Good luck, and let's see when they storm your house. When you do a really good work, they'll storm your house. They'll take your children. You know why? Because they are Satanists. They work for Satanists. And Satanism, in reality, is people with muzzles in a uniform, so mind controlled that they believe that trespassing on private property, they're allowed to do that without a signature of a judge, which is what happened to us. By the way, I don't speak from theoretical knowledge. I have actually experienced, and I'm holding this judge accountable, for which he's privately liable for this crime that he did. For trespass on my private property, I'm holding a judge liable. I could destroy his existence. That's the power that we hold. This is also a thing that I'm going to be sharing in the Gnostic Takeover University. Knowledge about the law. I've got even more expansion on the knowledge share of the law for mankind, things that the law for mankind do not talk about. It's what I'll be sharing in the Gnostic Takeover, and this is pending. I'm just breaking this to you. There's more than the law for mankind, which I have a video on here on my channel that are recommended. Now I'm recommending my own law course. From my own personal experience, I know this works. It gets you out of their matrix construct, this Wetiko construct, because they made you a part of their Wetiko construct in ways that the law for mankind does not talk about. And I have my suspicions about the law for mankind also, which there'll be more in the future that I'm going to share. And I will be contacting them also and asking them, because you can contact me also if there's something you realize in the great work that I haven't talked about yet. Then I would be open to that. Why wouldn't the law for mankind? Why would they be all knowing? Ooh, that's a great sign of not so good intentions with their work. But the jury's out. Don't want to judge anyone for now. The jury's out still. Let's see. Shall we? I have nothing to add. I hope they don't too. So that's that. Keep things simple. I keep going back and forth. Let me see what the comments are here. Oh, isn't that nihilist from Bob Ross? Interesting. Nihilist, to believe in nothing. Yeah. No. Knowledge is the enemy of belief. Not belief is the enemy of knowledge. Knowledge is the enemy of belief, because just like the truth is the enemy of the lie, not the other way around. It's the lie that's at war with the truth. It just doesn't want to accept that there is such a thing as the truth. So no, I'm not a nihilist. I'm an intentionalist, if you want to put a word to it. It's a telestai. I'm a telestai who used to be called by the church fathers Gnostics, because they knew it all better. Yeah, I know it all better than these priests do. They can put all their heads together. The entire world of dark occultism put their heads together, think about, oh, how are we going to stop Steve? And they can't come up with a solution, because Steve on his own is more powerful than 1,000 of priests who have the same program, the same hive mind running through them. And they're so far up their asses that they don't realize that there's higher intelligence to Satanism. Ah, isn't it great? On Halloween, on the day where they want to have their dark occult rituals, I set an intention because I don't give a fuck about them. I know about my power, and I know I can change reality when I set the intention. And as I said, I commanded them to all feel the pain that they inflict on their victims in sacrifice themselves. So it's mirror reflected right back to them according to the law of correspondence in natural law terms. As within, so without. And no one escapes the law. That's what I did today on Halloween. So therefore, glory, Halo-Wien. Glory. Not happy, glory, being powerful, celebrating that. Halo is the halo of protection. Other meanings also, go and look it up yourself. And Wien is Vienna. The center here in Austria of the Great Awakening. One of the centers. You make your own country the center of the awakening too. We can go and have a chat. Underneath, in the description below, there's an email address. We could have a chat here on the Gnostic Takeover. Because no one interviews me. Because I'm the conspiracy theorist for the conspiracy theorists. They don't want nothing to do with me anymore. All the people that I've already named here, that don't want nothing to do with me. Oh, Steve's gone crazy. He's a this, he's a that, he's a me. No, he's just freaking intelligent and he doesn't believe himself. He trusts himself and the source that is guiding him. That's why he's a danger. I am the danger. Cannot be in danger when I am the danger. That's the Gnostic Takeover motto. So we have gone quite a path today, and this is, as I said, this is a special episode on here at the Gnostic Takeover. And yeah, I'm just looking through the comments here. Lovely to have some comments here finally. It's like I've changed the energy that was happening before the fly, Agaric. So now people are commenting. Now people are engaging in the chats. Maybe I might even get a donation again. I mean, it would just be amazing. Thank you to everyone who has donated to the Gnostic Takeover. You are the only ones that have really, really helped a lot through these dark times, difficult times, which all had to happen. Had to be this way. This is a special episode, and I was already thinking about maybe leaving out the slide, but I'm gonna go for it anyway. There's just so much to talk about with the Amanita muscaria, the fly agaric, which I'm gonna leave at it for now. You can contact me, as I said. I'll be talking more about how you can orient yourself, how I do my intentional rituals, what's important to emphasize there. I'll do a video on that, or you can write an email to me. Just get in contact. I'm a normal guy, so to say, born natural, free from the earth, natural. So you can contact me, and yeah, let's get in touch. So now I'll be heading into the slides because I have prepared slides, and this takes as long as it takes. So I'm gonna continue the stream here, but I'm going to end the recording. This is the end of part 2 that I wanted to bring to you, and I'm gonna start again with part 3 now. So stay tuned here. This is for the viewers of BitChute here. The live stream will be full here on YouTube, so stay tuned. Thank you for joining me for the part 2, and see you in part 3. Hello and welcome to everyone here. So we've just ended part 2. I did a little now we're in part 3, and I've got some slides prepared, and there's like looks like the top of my head blew off. This Amanita muscaria, the fly agaric, Fliegenpilz it's called in German. Once I get talking, it seems like it has blown the top of my head off. The energy is flowing, the life force energy is flowing well in my Taurus field. I've got a lot to share. The crown is activated, anchoring the crown in this time. Anchor the crown in order to take them down. And it's Halloween. It's the celebration day for the dark occult, which is why they have perverted culture so much. That's why you have the picture here for this video, nature taking down the culture of the cult, and lightning shall strike you, for no one can escape the laws of nature. And today is Halloween, and we make it a glory day. This is the great reset of the natural order. It's a great reset of my own mind, heart, mind, intelligence flowing. A great reset that I've gone through the help of the medicinal plant Amanita muscaria, fly agaric. Very healing for me, however. I make no disclaimer, I just say everyone has to act responsible, because you know the irresponsible behavior of the big pharmaceutical cartel that I don't fear, because they're nothing. They're the ones who've committed genocide here on earth. I say what I want to say when it is the truth. They've committed genocide, so no one shall be in fear of them, because they are the criminals and you have the power. They're the criminals, and they will be held to account as criminals, because as we over, this is what we can learn from history. In the Nuremberg trials, which were manipulated by the way anyway, it was just a show to blame a certain little fraction of Nazis for all the tragedy of the World War II genocide. It was fake, however. You always take the principles from it, even if it was fake, and even if the winners always write the history books. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to just say I was following orders. It wasn't enough. I was just following orders. No, you were acting criminally. You were doing harm to mankind, knowingly. You were sent a notice of liability that I did with the Austrian president. He'll be held liable. Are you listening? Van der Bellen, Alexander Van der Bellen, who at times acts as Austrian president. You'll be held liable for genocide. It won't be enough that you're just following orders. You'll need to explain yourself how, and I know what he's going to say. Oh, you know, what should I do in my position? I've got these dark occultists who are threatening me and my family if I don't do what they tell me. Exactly. That's how people need to be speaking, Mr. Politician. Say that. You might get your ass from a lot of trouble. However, someone has to take responsibility, because we're not doing the genocide anymore. We're doing something else. It's called power. It's called life. It's called the earth. That's what we're doing. The great reset of the natural order. There is more intelligence existing in the universe, in the cosmos. There's more intelligence that exists to a bunch of psychopaths, megalomaniacs, dark occult priests, Satanists. And that intelligence is speaking to you right now. Because I have confidence in what I do. So, as you can hear the dog barking in the back, it's a great dog, it's a good dog. I'll head into the slides. I'm doing a special Halloween. I had plans to go outside with Liz. However, it's not happening right now. I'm with you. I'm with the Gnostic Takeover. Go and share this everywhere where you can. Help the Gnostic Takeover. Just share it on your platform. Share it on your Facebook side or whatever. Maybe someone watches it. Maybe you know someone who would also resonate with the Gnostic Takeover. There's many people interested in esoteric knowledge. Let's put the esoteric knowledge right. Go and share this. It's a great help also to the Gnostic Takeover. So, let's head into the slides. Okay, I have had a beautiful quote, and I can also add my I can add my picture here, as you can see. At times, I love to have the emphasis on a little bit on the picture right now, because that's just beautiful. I love this quote, and I posted it yesterday in my Telegram channel, which you can find underneath in the description. I am not what has happened to me. I am what I choose to become. This is beautiful, and it really, really, really touched me yesterday. Because I might be firing on all cylinders right now, but you see, those with the deepest scars are the ones who are the bravest. And I have had deep scars. I've gone through hell. I had to face many, many fears this past year, and often I didn't know how I may continue if the Gnostic Takeover is not going to happen. And I'm so thankful to share with everyone here that my life is changing now for the better. And I just want to say to everyone who's going through a difficult time to just keep going. I'm here for you. The Gnostic Takeover channel and message is here for everyone who's going through a hard time. I'll be here for support, because when I say I'm here for people and I support them, then I actually mean it, and I do it because I have integrity. I do what I say what I do. And it's the most difficult thing that I've faced in my life, is to let go. It's one of the most important things that we need to do in life, is to let go of the past. Let go of what happened yesterday. Today is a new day that was born, and you are the center of the universe. This is the truth. We have all the power to change everything. It's up to us to change it, and we change it with empathy. I can empathize with people going through hard times, difficult times, because I'm only at the place I've arrived at now because I went through them. It's the path of the wounded healer. Only one who has healed himself to a degree, because this healing process continues with me also, is someone who's actually in a position who can heal others, or not heal others, to help others heal themselves also. But just be here as support. And let me just say, the Gnostic Takeover is here. You don't need psychotherapists who are still hardwired to the system that is the very problem. It's a way of thinking, and the Gnostic Takeover opens the gate to a new way of thinking, a new level of consciousness that will also inspire you to transform your life, so your life works for you also, which is the most important thing in this world. Not knowing deeper and deeper levels of the agenda and how much they want to enslave us, and how deep the digital control grid goes, and they want to lock you in the smart grid and all that. No, that's all part also of the distraction program. It's all about finding out how life works and how our life can work for us. I'm not what has happened to me. This is the wisdom that I extract from my past, and heal my traumas of the past, and extract the wisdom in the process of doing that. I am what I choose to become. And this is the intentionalist. It's the bow and arrow of intention, the arrow of intention that you send when you say, "Dear medicine, my intention is taking the planet back. That's all that exists. And it's so appropriate to have this little child there, because it was always my childhood dream to make a contribution to mankind. I'd long forgotten that when I was a child I was, what the fuck is going on here? Why is everyone so miserable? I want to change the world, and then I got sucked into the programming. And now I can remember my childhood dream. Taking the planet back, and there is no one saving us. Again, there's no one going to come to save us. It's what Gnostics, the Telestai, always warned about religion, because they know how to mind control. That's why they set up the QAnon theme of mass mind control. That's a whole nother topic to get into. Because of the savior complex. Because it's all based on the victim perpetrator savior complex, and in that complex those who are the perpetrators also pose as the saviors. No, we don't need saviors. We'll be our own savior. That's the message throughout the ages of Gnosticism, Gnosis. You can only save yourself by knowing the only thing that exists is the knowledge that they've occulted and have kept hidden for a long time, and they have perverted it, and they have diluted it, and they have muddied the waters about the real knowledge that is most dear to the control freaks of the dark occult, which is the knowledge of the nature of reality. It is the knowledge of the esoteric arts, esoteric information. And I'm here to set the record straight to the best of my capabilities that I can. So what this picture symbolizes is you take the bow and arrow, you shoot the arrow of aim, and you can only end up what you're aiming for. The only thing that exists is the knowledge, gnosis, about the true nature of reality and how reality works, and make the nature of reality work for you, and make the intention, the arrow that you've sent, reach the target, and you can only end up in that target because this is the nature of reality and how consciousness interacts with reality. Therefore, my intention is taking the planet back, and there is nothing and no one that can stop me except if I stop myself. There is only one solution, truly. Many people talk about, so what's the solutions? Tell me about solutions. And there are many, many solutions. This statement doesn't exclude that. However, ultimately, I say there is only one solution. That is the transformation of your perception. Transforming our perception and knowing that reality originates from inside of us. And when we transform our perception, we transform the entire world. However, that is a deep process. It's one thing finding out about this knowledge, is a whole nother thing to apply this knowledge. And transforming my perception, I've been doing the whole year now. Even before that, but especially this year, I've been transforming my perception through letting the deep-seated traumas and emotional traumas, the emotions, the energy that was still trapped in my consciousness, that were perpetuating the feedback loop of a perception prison and keeping me in a prison of perception, and actually disentangling from that web of limited ideas, limited thoughts and beliefs that come through trauma. And when you let those deep-seated emotions come to the surface through fear, through they manifest as fear, they manifest as sadness. When you let them come up, you can transform, you can let go of the old so the new can come in. This is how it works. It's as simple as you let the emotion come up from the unconscious into the conscious mind, and that's the place where you can let it go. Cry your heart out, shout, go out into the forest and shout, and that's your healing. The intention is to see things holistically and not to look the other way. Well, I don't want to have anything to do with negativity and negatives. I just want to create the new world and not look at the bad. This is still black and white thinking. The Gnostic Takeover is rooted in the intention to take down all evil. This is what solves the problem here on Earth. And this is what I have been educated in doing by the Earth herself. This is why I needed to take the plant medicine ayahuasca, and in later ceremonies, datura was also added. I again do not wish to tell people to take that because it's very strong medicine, and I can only recommend caution. However, everyone here listening, the number one theme of the Gnostic Takeover is responsibility. However, these medicinal plants have the power to take down all evil. This is what they're most afraid of. People discovering the power of the intelligence of the plant kingdom, and human beings connecting to the natural intelligence that is the same intelligence that we can see in the plant kingdom, in the tree kingdom, in the animal kingdom, and in the mushroom kingdom. And many people would think, well, you don't mess with evil. Oh no, they're very dangerous, these Satanists. Very, very dangerous. Oh, you don't want to be messing with them. This is why I say you need to transform your perception. Because truth is that these Satanists, they fear you more than you fear them, but you only fear them when you do not know them. Again, the satanic principle is the principle of the blowfish. The blowfish can blow itself up to 5 times its normal size, but it only creates the illusion of being all powerful. That's what it is expert in. That's what this satanic cult, this dark occult priest class is expert in, is blowing themselves up and pretending. They're pretenders, pretending they're all powerful when they're not. They fear the day that we discover our power. And when you discover your power, you'll be able to navigate your reality and ban them and their influence from your reality. You can actually do that. The same way as technology works, when you go on Facebook, for example, and you can ban people, or you go on Telegram and you ban people you don't want to interact with, well, that technology only works like that because the nature of reality works like that. How about being able to ban all agents and the principle that they're agents from? When you ban the entire principle of the spirit of evil, Wetiko, and all its agents from your reality. This is what I say, or this is what I would strongly suggest, is a massive foundational component of freedom. Glory Halo-Wien. It's our planet, and I command the end of this dark occult ritual of Halloween and the end of this dark occult priest class. For we're in charge here now. They fear power. That's why they use all this symbolism in their movies and they're nothing. They're nothing in comparison to the power of a child. They fear this power. This is the thing they fear most because they know they have no control over it. That's why the Gnostic Takeover is all about healing, activating the inner child again, healing the inner child, and let the power rise then. This is what we see also in the Matrix movie. There's everyone intimidated by this dark force. However, we have to really, this is what I've been doing, to study this force, this principle of Wetiko. I don't say Satan. I specifically term it as Wetiko, as the Native Americans call it, because Satan they have personified like God. They have personified, when it is actually much more a principle. And the situation here on Earth, in order to be able to take back the planet, well, then someone will have to take them down. Well, no one wants to do that. I'm happy to do it. Glad when other people are involved in doing it. In all probability, I'm not the only one doing it. I'm not the only one on my path to take down the dark occult and usher in the new paradigm of paradise here on Earth. I'm not the only one. And many of the pioneers of the real truth movement are listening in here right now, listening to the words that I'm speaking, because they are a pioneer. Because there's a lot wrong in the so-called alternative media and in the so-called truth movement as it has been presented and as I have followed it for many years. I've not been watching them for 1 year, and my expansion and my transformation of consciousness has skyrocketed ever since I stopped watching the alternative media. That's my personal experience of just switching off, like you switch off the television, you switch off the alternative media, and you will be more informed of what's going on than you've ever been in your entire life. And that's why I don't get interviewed by them, because they fear being exposed. But the truth is the inevitability. It will happen, and the truth will shine, and we will be free for the first time in our life, in this lifetime. That's what we're here to do. Someone will have to take them down, and I'm happy to be that pioneer. I'm in a state of consciousness where I don't fear them anymore, because they cannot come into my reality. I've banned them from my reality. There's consequences going with the truth. See me here, I've had this picture on here before. I was invited to, not often, because they only pick and choose when they have you on. And this, actually I was hardly ever invited. I was only invited once to speak at an online event, but they shun me. And I've discovered that these online events, these things that they have, it's fake. These guys here, they're fake actors. And I'm happy to point it out. Health, freedom for humanity. Alex Sek, Okay, I won't get into personal things. I've had my experiences. I don't know Alex Sack. I don't know Josh Del Sol personally, but I can say they're actors, and yeah, they are on their journey. However, that's got nothing to do with the truth, what they're doing, and there's consequences of going with the truth. As you can see me here, I was still with Errol Kaya there, who I thought was a good influence on my life, because he pretended as being a light occultist, a shaman that works with ayahuasca, and he turned out to be a dark occultist. But again, I don't see things as negative. It was a great experience for me to know what I stand for, and I don't do any compromises with the truth. However, there's consequences when you go with the truth. When you just stay yourself, do not let yourself be intimidated by people who have more followers than you, or they've got this great network and they've got access and they can make you famous. It's the same program that runs in Hollywood, and I want nothing to do with it. You stay real. Integrity has to be very deeply rooted in us, and then we make all the difference in the world. Exclusion from the group. That's what I went through. Yeah. Well, if I should bow down to any groupthink, even if it's called the freedom movement, I won't be a part of it. You can count me out. I'll be myself, and if it's too much, if it's not okay being myself, then you leave. I'd rather be excluded from the group, and I will always go with the truth. And then they all laugh at you. You see, that's why I still have a little bit of anger inside myself. I'm totally honest. I still have anger towards Josh Del Sol, for example, just being totally honest, because of the way I was treated by them. Obviously, there's going to be anger when people treat you with such disrespect. And then what they do is they laugh at you. Ha ha ha, you're not part of it. Ha ha ha, you're not getting interviewed. We're ignoring you. Ha ha ha. Okay. That hurts. It really deeply hurt me. But if that's the path I have to walk, and walk the path of the truth, then I have to walk it. I will never compromise. And I will never say sorry for being myself. They work with the fear of abandonment. It's why I'm a whistleblower of the alternative media arena, the fake truth movement. And I wish to connect with the real people who have small channels like I do, because they're under energetic attack. They don't want the truth out there and real people speaking the truth, like real people listening to this message here. You are far more powerful than any of these clowns who have their following of whatever thousands of. It's nonsense. It's all quantity and has no quality. They work with the fear of abandonment. It's groupthink. It's mind control. The fear of abandonment, and then ha ha, you're not part of the group. Well, I'm more powerful than you'll ever be. I trust myself. And that's what they work with. And I just made the choice in life, to choose to see the nightmare as a gift. That is beautifully put. It's beautiful, simplistic knowledge. It's beautiful gnosis. It's so simple. Do not stay a victim of the abuse that you suffered. So I was abused. Ha ha ha, he, you're nothing, your work's going to nothing. No one interviews you, ha ha, he. Fuck it. I'm being guided by the source of everything. And it will work. And to choose to see the nightmare as a gift. It was a great gift in self-discovery. Being excluded from the group and not being interviewed because I needed the time for healing. And maybe the time for interviews comes again. Maybe someone is listening here and contacts me, writes an email to me and says, hey, let's do an interview, I'd be happy to hear from anyone. If you don't have a YouTube channel, and we can just have a conversation. If you don't have a YouTube channel, let's start it. This is the first day of your life too, maybe, if you choose to. Go ahead and just write to me. Hey, could we have a talk, you know? However, I won't talk with dark occultists, okay? Witches or priests, I won't talk with you. However, when you've got your heart, when you write an email that's from the heart, I'm very happy to engage and do something. With the real people, real talk about the real issues, what's going on here. And what's really going on here, it's mass hypnosis. It's mass mind control. And we really need to get a hold. Now I'm just gonna tune that on. Oh yeah, it's gone darker. Hang on a minute. This hypnosis goes much deeper than many people have taken for granted, because there's the obvious case, what I talk about, the obvious case of the hypnosis in the mainstream media. Everyone knows that they're mind controlling people. However, what has come, it's just beginning to dawn on people that the alternative media is a show, and we have to outgrow it. It's not important to be mad about people. I learned a lot from mentors like Mark Passio, David Icke, John Lamlash. I still thank them for their input. However, I don't want anything to do with them. John Lamlash, for example, who's a fellow Gnostic, who I would regard as being much more knowledgeable about history of the Gnostics than I am at the moment. Happy to give him that credit. However, he would never ever speak with me. He writes comments underneath videos from me, but he would never engage in a conversation because he knows I would expose him, that he's not got the right intention, and he's only pretending to be a Gnostic, but he's actually a dark occultist. So yeah, the Gnostic Takeover is here to take off the blinders completely and transform perception of what's actually, and you can only transform perception when you take down this freaking program that's running in people's minds. It's a multifaceted, multi-dimensional program that is keeping people enslaved. And that is what true evil is. It's not a mythological figure and personification of Satan and some entity called Satan. From my understanding now, in my knowing, I don't think that there is such a thing as Satan. It's a principle. It's not a figure. It's not some mythological figure that exists. It's a principle of a program, like a principle of how a computer is programmed, like the principle of natural law, for example, the principle of cause and effect. Well, they want to invert all of that, and they never want to talk about the cause of anything. That's why the pharmaceutical cartel mafia industry, it is always said that they only treat the symptom, they do not treat the cause. Of course, because they would be doing healing, and they don't want that. They don't want that at all. Which is why they don't want anything to do with plant medicine. And it's only very limited the amount of research that they have done with powerful psychoactive compounds that I'm only at the beginning of finding out what it truly is. As I've said, the fly Agaric has only been healing for me when the cultural madness, the collective madness, the collective psychosis would say, oh, that's poisonous. It's been incredibly healing for me. And again, everyone has to be responsible for their own actions. You can get in contact with me when you have any further questions about that. I can do more videos on these questions. I can't say for sure if I can write back to everyone, but I can, based on these questions that you write, I can set up my videos to do that. And there will be many more videos coming now your way soon, because my healing has gone to a new level now and I've freed up more space to be able to do videos. So the program is, and this is what they've done to me, by the way. Okay, let me pull up this picture again. The consequences of going with the truth. This is what they try to do with me. It's a seduction. They can't stop you, actually. They also can't kill you, by the way. David Icke was once asked, this is what people most fear. Hang on. Oh, they might kill me if I expose dark priests and the dark occultists. It's the other way around. You kill the lie of what they're perpetuating. You should have seen the high priest of Satanism when I told him that he was the high priest of Satanism. He was shocked. Yeah, because I have seen through your bullshit. That's what they most fear. And then they fear. They want to intimidate you. Oh, we're about to get you. But the truth is that they can't. They can't get to you when you know the nature of reality. You can block them from your reality. This is the most powerful knowledge that you can share. It's powerful. It's pure gnosis. This is at the very highest level of the information pyramid. That the way reality works is the way technology works. Technology only works because of the workings of the nature of reality. So when I can block people on Facebook and on Telegram, I can block people from my reality, and then all evil can't invade and can't infiltrate and can't invade my reality. That's freedom. And they tried to recruit me into their cult. That's why Errol Kaya was there, and Josh Del Sol and Alex Sack are part of that cult, from my knowing. So, the program, it's seduction for recruitment into the cult. It's the culture of evil. However, this program goes very deep, and when you go and look back into the previous videos that I did, I talked about the guilt-driven system. Based on guilt. That's why the shadow work is so important. And to let go of the cultural programming and let go of the past and feel those emotions and then let it go. I'm not my past. Let's have that back on. I'm not what has happened to me. I am what I choose to become. That's Gnosticism. Only you are in charge of your life. Only you. That's why we have to take full responsibility for the situation that we face in the world right now. And just hold these criminals liable. And you can do that with the right knowledge when the Gnostic Takeover shares this knowledge and information with you, that you can actually block these influences from your reality. However, you'll have to do the shadow work, because when you do the shadow work inside of you, the shadow cannot come into your reality from the outside. It's very, very powerful esoteric knowledge that I'm dropping with you here right now. And this Dark Occult Priest class doesn't like a second of me speaking, let me tell you. And I'll do all of it for free, because that's the right thing to do. Because everyone during this genocide of our species has the right and has the moral right to have this information, which is why I do it for free. And it would be great if people can go underneath in the description below again and make a donation. When we need help, it's right now. Right now is when we actually need help and financial support and support. Make comments, share this video. Let the reach grow of that. It's out of my control. Go ahead, take this video. This has helped me. This guy is speaking sense. He's a bit loony. He's a bit funny. He's a bit this and that. He's a bit of a himself. And you can do that. And everyone can do that. He actually says you can go and contact him and we can do an interview and have a talk. Not an interview where you interview me. No, I want to know how you think about things. It's not only about me. It's about all of mankind coming together and seeing what you've looked deeper into. Maybe you've had the time to look deeper into Tartaria, which I didn't have because I have to study liability to take down these criminals. Let's engage. That's what the Gnostic Takeover is opening the gateway now. The Gnostic Takeover is an idea that's transforming, as I say. We need to transform perception. This is what I do what I say what I do. And people can write to me and we can go and do this. Just do it. Don't think how to do it, just do it and then think how you did it. So who's here for nature? Oh, as many people are. I like nature. I see many nature boys. They do videos in the forest talking about how picking mushrooms, and they know a lot about mushroom, but they don't talk about 5G frying the forest every single day and the trees drying out, and then they blame it on global warming. I don't hear them doing, oh, that would be rocking the boat. So only Crazy Steve has to talk about it. The 5G prison system and the Satanists that are behind it. Who's here for nature? Truly, I am. Hands up. I'm an active agent of the planet, taking down these criminals. I'm not, and this is not even a joke. I've been doing this channel for 2.5 years. I refused to wear a muzzle throughout the time during the COVIDian cult's imposition of their you know what, and I ended up, after speaking publicly, talking about the network in public every week for a whole year. I wasn't talking about PCR and it doesn't test for what it's testing and repeat that 100 times and go mental on it. I was talking about what is controlling this world, talking about natural law on the stage. I was the maverick. I was not to be controlled by this cult. That's why the culture of evil, the program, seduced me for recruitment into the cult. They wanted to recruit me through the people that were running the demonstrations. They're all part of the criminal cabal. They are part of the criminals, the alternative. It happened here in Austria. It's happening in your country too. Just imagine how many years it's been since the Second World War bombing of Dresden and bombing of everywhere. The genocide, the last genocide, and we're in the middle of World War III. They just had to make up a new theme so people don't realize that they're inside a war. Imagine how many years have passed since 1945. And then you'll know how deep this international network that goes right into every single council in England, in Austria, in France, in Germany, everywhere. And they're all connected in this satanic network. People in schools, people in kindergartens. It's the Fight Club. It's 5% of the population, of the human population, engaged in black magic witchcraft, wanting to enslave the other 95%. And I'm giving a conservative estimate. This is the information that I have connected the dots with. Going from what Mark Passio talks about, and I've listened to many hundreds of and even thousands of hours of Mark Passio to be able to speak from the level of knowledge that I'm speaking from. And he says that the number of Satanists in America, from what I remember, was, I think he said 8%, but do not quote me on that. And in the reality TV show, they want to show you all these actors like the Klaus Schwab's Resident Freaking Evil, Mr. Evil, and they have all these Henry Kissingers and Bill Gates, and then people, they want to program your mind. This is the program. They want to program your mind that that's who the criminals are, and every criminal is a banker with a suit. That's for the alternative movement. Oh, the bankers, it's the bankers. No, it's priests and priestesses, and they're 5% of the population. They could be in your local kindergarten practicing witchcraft. Yeah, I'm talking reality here. This has been my personal experience. I was speaking in the city of Linz in the alternative movement. Oh, we're against the COVID measures. Oh, we're against that. We do a demonstration every week for 1 year. And every single one of these people there were part of this cult. Everyone. Except me. And I had to figure that out. You know why I had to figure it out? Because they wanted to lock me into prison. However, the problem is that I'm too damn intelligent for them. Coupled together with the help of the plant medicine that I engaged with, that I needed in order to be able to pull off my intention, which is to take back the planet. Therefore, I'm not naive. I am not naive ever since my experiences. I was naive before. I'm not anymore. Because it's all about taking our planet back. Why? Because this planet belongs to us. It belongs to mankind. Doesn't belong to vampires. Freaks, control freaks. Doesn't belong to them. And the message that I'm speaking comes from the planet Earth directly. And she would absolutely agree with every single word that I say. And if not, give me a hint, dear Great Mother. It's enough. She wants none of this sacrifice and this torture anymore. So who is here for nature? Are you in? I hope you are. Although I hardly do any hope, but in this case I'll use it consciously. Only the Pope does hope, but in this sense I hope you are here for nature. So now the story is in the right context. Oh yeah, now the story is in the right context. Ah, that's why the Gnostic Takeover is not growing and expanding. Oh, they want to put it under an energetic cap and make Steve lose confidence because he's excluded from the groupthink. Ha ha, you're not part of our little community, you're not part of our community of parallel societies. You're not being interviewed anymore. Your work's going nowhere. You get no credit for the work that you're doing. Your mum's crying because you've got no money. So why don't you just drop it? And it's not a joke, by the way. It's not a joke. My mum's actually crying in the kitchen yesterday, and she's like, but it's the program. Again, it's not her. You have to differentiate that. It's her cultural programming, which says everyone needs a job, and when you don't have a job, you are lazy, and she doesn't need. Those videos are far too much for her, and I'm happy for her to not watch it because it will blow her mind. It's not the right time for her to watch it. And she's really afraid for my future. And I say, Mum, it'll be fine. She thinks I'm a complete failure because I stopped university and I don't teach at a school. And she always forgets to consider that I wouldn't even be able to stay in a school for a day. You know what I would teach the children? Yeah, good luck with your education program when I go into the freaking classroom and tell them about natural law. That's why I had to drop everything to do what I'm doing. I have no active income. I'm not registered with government unemployment money or whatever. I don't do that because that would create an energetic gateway to me if I were to receive money from them. Intelligence is what trumps them. So now the story is in the right context. This channel is massively under attack, which is the reason why, again, I'll say, of course we need support, like everyone needs support. Share this video, send it to people that you think resonate with this. and that would find it helpful, because this to me is the most important message, of course. And I'd love to see other people share, send emails to me, write to me, send me other people you listen to who share a great message like this one, and I'll be happy to see that there's more people talking about the real issues, the emotions, the love, the joy of life, shadow work, when we have to go through stuff, support each other. That's what it is. And the plant medicine, the little bits and pieces, like it actually, I've been talking about plant medicine the whole time during this video. It may not seem like that. Let me put my chabby Chase on here again. I've been talking about plant medicine this whole 2 parts. This is part 3 here. It's plant medicine speaking to you. I'm the amplifier of the source. Why? Because I have engaged with ayahuasca 11 times, and it was, reckon, 4 times with datura, as well as now the fly Agaric, which really has helped my healing a lot. It's my personal experience. And this is the single one thing they do not want you to know, or from their perspective, the single one thing we do not want you to know: plant medicine. When you accept the reality that you don't know it all, or that we find the solutions with the limited thinking of only the rational mind and only reading books, and then we'll find the solution after we've read thousands of books. No. It's great to read books. I love to read books also. However, it's the plant medicine, because the plant medicine drives at the causal level of healing, not at the symptom like the big mafia cartel of Big Pharma does. Only treats the symptom. Plant medicine goes to the cause of it. It will heal you psychologically, spiritually, because the Wetiko bug, the Wetiko mind virus that I talk about, and I'll be talking about a lot more in the coming videos, it's a spiritual sickness. It's a disease of the mind, and we have to be very honest with ourselves in order to get rid of this mind parasite, the constant chat in our mind, that, according to Dr. Joe Dispenza, who wrote the book, one of the book was The Placebo Effect. 97% of the thoughts we thought today are the same thoughts that we thought the day before. 97%! That right there is the program. It's the yada yada yada, yeah, you're not good enough, oh, you're never gonna make it anywhere, your mom hates you and your mom thinks you're a failure. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Satanism. Exposed right here, right now. That is Satanism. It's the tyrant. It's the mind control. It's the tyrant in your mind, the Wetiko bug. That's real Satanism. And that's what they seriously don't want anyone to know. It's not out there. It's freaking in here. That's why they say all the answers are inside. Yeah. Because that out there is only an effect of the cause in here. You're not going to find anything with the cinema projection and go to the projection like, I want to change it. No, you go to the projector level, which is the cause, the causal level. Your mind, connecting the heart with the mind and have the mind dictate perception, which is the basis of the transformation of perception. I'm talking about the end of the dark occult. This is a symbol. Let everyone be reminded. Oh yeah, it happened for a reason. Symbolic. Life's language is in symbols. They know, the initiates always knew. That's why they love their symbolism, the Freemasonic symbols, like this one. I take it back. I'm the all-seeing eye on there. That's me. A great depiction of me. Thank you, by the way. They perverted it and they say, oh, look, Steve is also using symbols. You know, he's also part of the cult. No, I take back the symbols. They don't want anyone reading these symbols. That's the enlightened mind that can see through the lies, the tapestry of the lies, and extrapolate the truth from it. We're in the age of the end of the dark occult. That's why they're going crazy and just want to mess things up now, and they're spraying their nonsense in the skies because they are so creative. Oh, hang on, let me spray the skies again with chemtrails. That's a great way of moving forward. And they just continue doing the same over and over again because they are insane. The dark occult is insane. And the message of nature is, be gone with them. You're done. And you all dark occultists, you follow the path of this fucking witch. You leave this planet under the commands that I say, my command. I am accountable to that command, that you leave this planet. Because it doesn't tolerate immoral beings and immoral trash anymore. Has done so for too long, and now it's time to leave because the knowledge is there. We know how to get rid of you, and we are getting rid of you. And I have just only gotten started here, mate. The nuclear weapon. This is actually a paper written by a doctor. Of course, no, can Datura kill corona? Well, no, it activates the corona, doctor, but it kills the mind virus, just like all the other plant medicine. Kill the mind virus. That's what it is here to do. It's the nuclear weapon against the enemies of life. Forget the frames and the pictures they gave you about a nuclear weapon. That is the nuclear weapon. Datura, ayahuasca, and the fly agaric. Oh, what a beauty! You see it in nature, they all demonize it like the Gnostic Takeover. Hey, I've got something in common with the fly agaric. When it's the real deal, you'll get demonized. As I have said, I see the nightmare as a gift, of course. However, I have to be real and say there's consequences of going with the truth. And that's when you get demonized and excluded from the group. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Even your mum is afraid that you have no future. What are you gonna do now? Ha, ha, ha. I'm just gonna continue because I know what is right and I know what is wrong. The demonization of the fly agaric. Oh, it's poisonous. Yeah, to the poison it's poisonous. It's poisonous to the Witiko mind virus, the tyrant in the mind. That's what it's poisonous for, because it eliminates it. That's what it does. However, you're not going to get the whole thing in one go. Healing is a process, like awakening is a process. It's a deep spiritual sickness, the Witiko mind virus bug. It's a big spiritual sickness. It's infested itself deep into our psychology. However, we can eliminate it. And that's what it truly means. To anchor the crown, to take them down. And that's where we're going to have the Great Reset. This is the last slide that I have for you today. This is the Great Reset. Got to ask yourself the question, why am I doing this video today? Why did the live stream stop yesterday? For me to do the video today on Halloween, it's no coincidence, because I'm not a coincidence theorist, because I know the nature of reality doesn't work on coincidences. It works with synchronicity. And I've made the command today that all these dark occultists, that they burn when they try to do sacrifice ceremonies on this day. You burn and you feel the pain of your victims that you inflict on yourself. And I couldn't be clearer that your time's over, dark occultists. All of you, your time is over. Because you're all based on lies and manipulation, and the manipulation is all based on lies. But those lies cannot stop the sun from rising. And I say, rise. 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 And realize. Realize real lies. And then we know what the truth is. We only found out the truth because we could see through the lies. And now the sun rise in our consciousness. We are the light. The power of all creation is in us. We're endowed with it. Everyone who's listening, why have you listened to this live stream? Why have you watched this video? It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that you heard me say, go contact me. Go write an email. I'm a normal guy. I'm a good guy. I care about people. I care about mankind. I care about the children. I do what I say what I do. It's not a coincidence that you should contact me. Let's do a talk. Let's go and do it. Let's transform the Gnostic Takeover together. It's not just mine, and I keep it for myself. No. Everyone can participate. However, I'm not just going to let everyone on here. No, quality instead of quantity. You need to show. You don't have to prove yourself. When you feel inspired by this message, when you feel inspired, just write. Write from your heart. That's all you got to do. And I will detect that. And I will detect if someone has wrong intentions. And we don't have that here. No dark occultism here on this channel. So there you go. Voila. This is it. We've done it. Long talk. Over 2 hours. 2 hours 18. Wow. We even burst into a sweat nearly here now. So, unfortunately, I've let Liz down. So I'll have to say sorry there. However, this was more important. It's Halloween. I had a special here. Glory, Halo-Wien. Glory, we know. Halo is the field of protection that we have around us when we speak the truth. That's what I would term it. And Wien is Vienna, the city of diplomacy. I love Vienna. And we're taking that city back first. Here in Austria. I'm just focusing on Austria. I don't even have a passport anymore. I wouldn't even be able to identify myself for this criminal system anymore because I don't have any identification in their criminal system, which you don't even have to. You never have to identify yourself unless you have participated in a crime. When you've never participated in a crime or you've not been involved in any crime, then no one has to identify themselves. It's very simple. Therefore, I can't go anywhere. I don't have a passport. I can't travel anywhere because I'm meant to be here, taking my country back, or what is a concept of a country. I transcend those concepts. I love all of mankind. It's all one. However, it has a specific cultural feel, Austria. I've grown up here, so therefore I'm perfect. I'm the perfect fit to take this country back. You know why? Because no one else is doing it. So I'll leave it at that. Wonderful to have you. So much more to come. Please take very good care. Treat yourself with respect. And I wish everyone a great time in your own healing process. and enjoy life, because all of this is just the beginning of something huge. It's great. This is the first day of my life. Yours too?